I was literally about to say we meet again, old friend. Turn around. I'll show him who's grumpy. Tough choices. Real tough choices. Let's see, our two options are a dingy basement. I walked my happy ass into that one, didn't I?
Yeah!
Hello, and welcome back to another fabulous and wonderful episode of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, in today's fabulous and wonderful episode, we are trying out the new museum mode. Now, I'm super excited to get into the museum mode because I've heard there's a lot of fun, interesting facts about the movie that's in here, and probably some fun, interesting facts about the game as well. But I'm curious to see if there's any new fun facts I might have missed when I covered the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on my podcast called The Scream Stream. Now, if you are interested in hearing me talk about the movie and reviewing it, talk about some of my favorite scenes, and talk about some fun facts that may or may not be in the museum mode, I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys if y'all totally want to check that out. It was a fun episode, highly recommend it. Not sure what number it was. I want to say it was 37. I could be wrong. It could be 36, but I want to say it's 37. Definitely, though, check it out if that's something you're interested in. But why don't we go ahead, dive on into this museum mode, because I want to know. I want to know what this whole shenanigans is all about, because we've been waiting almost a year for this damn thing. So let's go ahead, dive on in. Okay, we are in museum mode. Isn't this lovely? Alright, what do we got? Alright, photo checklist. Pretty lady dancing. Marrow melodies. GKB. And Wet has 7 arms but no head and 5 legs but can't walk. And chicken nuggets. Oh, I'm sure we'll be able to find all that in due time. What do we got here? Ooh, I see. Looks like a bubble back here. Yeah, let's just start from the front and make our way back. How about that? Alright, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, I can change his outfit. Well, if we're gonna change his outfit, we won't put him in my favorite outfit. This has always been my favorite outfit because he is such a pretty woman. Alright. Photo spot. Okay, how do I pull out my camera? Ah, here we go. Oh, I can zoom in. Change focus. Ooh, nice, I like that. Alright, there's filters. Yeah! Take a photo.
Pretty woman, walking down the street. Pretty woman, what kind I like to meet.
Love it. Alright. And we got the road here. Oh, invisible wall. And we got... Ooh, our favorite little armadillo.
Behind the scenes photo, Armadillo. The crew at Gun Interactive were able to recreate the film's opening shot of an armadillo. When executive producer Ishmael Vicens and brand strategy lead Matthew Zepp started their long drive back from one of their production trips to Texas, they noticed a dead armadillo on the side of the road. They quickly pulled off to the side of the road, dodging traffic at highway speeds, and snapped as many pictures as they could. They knew that this was completely unsafe, but they just couldn't pass up on the opportunity to get this shot.
They really couldn't. Apparently, they were going to use something else. I want to say it was like a dog or a cat or something. And they didn't really like the idea. I guess it hit a little too close to home or something like that. And basically, when they saw the armadillo, they were just like, that's our opening. That's our opening shot.
The opening shot. The armadillo in the opening shot of the film was an actual armadillo that production designer Robert Burns found on the side of the road and taxidermied himself. According to Robert Burns, the original script called for a shot of a dead dog on the side of the road, and then the camera would pan to the green van. After further thought, Toby Hooper felt a dog was too domesticated to show in that light and deemed it too horrible for audiences. This is when an armadillo was decided to be their best bet, as it fit as a symbol for Texas. Robert Burns then found a dead armadillo on the side of the road and took it home himself to taxidermy the animal. This is how the opening shot of the film was born.
Yeah, basically everything I just said. Okay. So yeah, no, it was too close to home for a lot of people, which I can kind of get that. Also, not that easy to get a live dead dog, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Alright, what do we got in here?
Stop and turn. Gunnar Hansen's stop and turn move was an accident. The boots that Gunnar Hansen wore had 3-inch lifts to make him taller, though because of this, if he didn't stop suddenly and then turn, he would lose his balance and fall. The weight of the chainsaw also impacted his movements due to its sheer weight. So after falling on the first take, Gunnar stopped, turned, and one of Leatherface's signature moves was born. Kim Henkel would call it the Keystone move. The shot of his signature move was recreated in the unrated gameplay trailer of our game.
Oh yeah, no, when it came to Gunnar playing Bubba, he had a good time, kind of. Okay, so he did a good job portraying Bubba in many ways, as in, like, he did some research, like some heavy research into how somebody like Bubba would act. And so he also wanted to get the mannerism of his movements correctly as well. And because Bubba needs to look so big and tall, those shoes were not helpful. Anything in here? No? But yeah, those shoes were not helpful. Also, another little fun fact is during the scene where he's chasing Sally in the woods after she escaped the house the first time, he kept catching up to her because he was so fast. Marilyn Burns, not so much. Oh look, Connie!
Booty shorts. A lot of shots were set up on the fly during principal photography by Daniel Pearl and Toby Hooper. One such shot that Hooper would years later call the best shot in the film was no exception.
He ain't wrong.
That shot, of course, being the iconic shot of Pam approaching the family house. Cinematographer Daniel Pearl was laying flat on a dolly with the camera tilted up. The goal of the shot was to make the house appear bigger and bigger in the frame as Pam approached it.
Yeah, basically, he wanted to give it almost like its own life form. Alright. Ooh, there's a sign here. What's up, Julie? Oh, that's creepy. That's definitely creepy.
Escape hatch. When Sally, Marilyn Burns, escapes by jumping out the window, the glass was actually breakaway sugar glass, made by Bob Burns and Mary Church. In fact, Mary did the stunt of jumping out the window. A mattress and some empty boxes were placed outside the window for her to land on, but setting up the shot took a long time. With the humidity of the Texas summer, the breakaway glass began to dissolve. When I went through it, I was like a glass woman because now I had little particles stuck all over me because the stuff was wet, Mary said. If they'd waited probably another 45 minutes, I don't know if there'd been any glass in those windows.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, to be honest, guys, that Texas heat was not good for them in this movie. Like, straight up. Poor Gunnar. Because of the Texas heat. So I don't know if they're going to talk about this, but there was only one set of costumes for everybody, right? And Gunnar being the guy in like a fake mask and everything and covered in blood, of course he smelled the worst out of everybody. So because of that, nobody really wanted to sit down and eat lunch with him. It's not that he didn't like the guy, it was the fact that he stunk that bad.
Discreet flora. The flora around the house where most of the filming took place was populated by more than the cedar trees common to central Texas. The owners of the house were growing 2 acres of cannabis.
Oh.
They told the film crew that they could help themselves to the crop as long as they were discreet about the landlord's extracurricular gardening. According to sound recorder Ted Nicolau, I thought that was part of the reason for the confused discussions every day of what we were about to shoot.
Oh, see, I didn't know that now. That's actually a fun little fact. I did not know that. Huh. Cannabis yard. Alright, what's back here?
Fake hammer, real impact. The scenes in the movie with the sledgehammer seem real, and there's good reason for that. Though the prop master Bob Burns made a fake hammer with a foam rubber head, there were still complications. Leatherface actor Gunnar Hansen recalled hitting actor William Vale while filming Kirk's death scene. I was completely charged up on adrenaline, skittishly hopping back and forth as if I were speeding. So when Bill tripped and I stepped out of the shadows, I actually hit him in the face with the sledgehammer. Fake or not, it left its mark. In the pivotal dinner scene, actor Marilyn Burns, who played Sally, was actually struck and bled. I went to the bucket, said Burns, and then Grandpa hit me over the head with the other prop that was a piece of steel, a sledgehammer. That hurt. That wasn't fake. As Hansen noted, some of the blood in Sally's hair is actually Marilyn's.
Oh yeah, no, she bled a lot during this movie. There was actually, I don't know if y'all remember the scene, but it's when they're cutting her finger. They were supposed to use a fake prop, knife that's supposed to like ooze the blood out, and it wasn't coming out the way Toby wanted it to come out, so they actually cut her finger. And what is this? A lock. Okay. We had to lock the barn due to some teenagers trying to break in. If you forgot the code, look at Cook's truck. Oh, okay. Let's go to Cook's truck then. Five, 4, 6, 8. That's what I'm assuming. Alright, let's go give that a shot. 5, 4, 6, 8. Four, 6, 8. Yes! Okay. Look, it's our Nugget! Oh, look at Nugget! Look at him! Isn't he a beaut? Take a photo. That's not a very good photo, but it's a Nugget!
Chicken Nugget. The game's composer, Ross Tregenza, used real chickens for the audio for Nugget. He luckily had a close friend and fellow composer that owned a farm with several chickens. The name Nugget was born from brand strategy lead Matthew Zepp. The name is a nod to the longtime nickname of his nephew.
Didn't know it was the name of his nephew, but I didn't know they used real chicken noises and real animal bones for a lot of the stuff inside the house. A gallows. Okay. In the car graveyard.
Car. In one notable
car.
scene in the original film, the cook approaches the house and sees the hitchhiker. They have an altercation at the truck where the cook beats the hitchhiker with a broom handle and clearly shows off the relationship between the two characters. The reason that the scene works so well is that it's entirely real. Jim Sedow, the cook, was actually beating Ed Neal, the hitchhiker.
Yeah, like I said, they went all out for this movie. Everyone actually got hurt. People actually did bleed. Hey, look, our bone chimes. Oh, you can't go through them. Wait a minute, wasn't one of the things... See, yeah, two things in the car graveyard, so... I'm assuming this has got to be one, right? Yep. The Marrow Melody. Okay. Neat. GKB 636. I think that's the license plate. But it feels like a license plate. Ah, here we go. Alright, neat. And what has 7 arms but no head, 5 legs but can't walk? Oh, I think it's that thing back up front.
Hey there!
Oh! Johnny? Sup, Johnny? It's not expecting you to be there, Johnny. Alright, coolio. Nice. Alright, let's go into the house now. Oh, that's not good. Can I go through the side? No? Oh. Well, how do I get in? Dang, there's a piece of meat on there. But that really does not help at all. Alright. Photo check. Let's return here after you checked all the photos. Alright, checked all the photos. So, what's the code? It's 4 digits. No, let's be a little sentimental here. That was it. Neat. Wow, that looks fancy. Alright, Skull Wall family dinner. Crispy Kringles, Grandpa's arm candy, frames of fear, and revoke license. Alright.
Makeup set. Gunnar Hansen shared a lot of praise for his fellow cast members. In the 40th anniversary Blu-ray release's audio commentary, Hansen notes that actor Jim Sedow, the cook, was probably the only actor in the movie who could look benign and then become extremely evil without any makeup.
Huh. Poor Julie, man. Okay. Creepy. Alright. I like the idea of the station. That's pretty neat. Oh, what's this? Chicken head. Alright. Let's add that to the inventory.
The dinner scene. The infamous dinner scene was a long, trying shoot. Plastic surgeon W.E. Barnes created the makeup for Grandpa, and it took nearly 10 hours to apply to actor John Dugan. A lot of pieces and parts went into creating Grandpa's look. But because they were down to their last set of makeup parts, the crew had to shoot every scene involving Grandpa all in one day. The grueling shoot was one of the hottest days of the production, with temperatures over 100 degrees. The set windows were blacked out with black plastic in a house filled with cameras and lights that reached as high as 120 degrees inside. Because of the extreme heat on set, the food at the dinner table started to rot. The smell on set was ghastly for the entire cast and crew. All of the bones on the set were real, and combined with the lights that made them burn, released an unbearable smell. The combination of the stench with the extreme heat made a lot of the crew sick, and they'd take frequent trips outside to throw up. In the end, the brutal set brought a real rawness to the film. The shoot in total lasted nearly 32 hours for some of the crew.
Oh, apparently I need some stuff before I recreate it. Gotcha. Alright.
Kim and Toby before Texas. Kim Henkel and Toby Hooper met during the filming of Hooper's 1969 film Eggshells. 4 years later, they would go on to create the production company Vortex Inc. and co-create the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Another Texas Chainsaw actor was also part of the Eggshells cast. Alan Danziger, better known as Jerry to Chainsaw fans, co-starred in the earlier film. He really cut her. According to Gunnar Hansen, he really cut Marilyn Burns' finger in the infamous Grandpa feeding scene. The prop knife, designed to pump out fake blood, wouldn't work after several takes. Finally, when no one was looking, Gunnar Hansen removed the tape from the knife that made it dull and really cut Marilyn's finger. Knowing this, that would mean that actor John Dugan, Grandpa, sucked on the actual blood of Marilyn Burns.
Yup.
Cheap thrills. Screenwriter Kim Henkel has said that one of the reasons he and Toby Hooper wanted to make a horror film was their limited budget. If you have relatively little money, what are your possibilities? Henkel says. The clear answer was some sort of genre piece. Horror was the easiest because we felt that we didn't have to have any names in the cast. Production values weren't nearly so important as in some other realms, so it became the natural choice.
What's also funny is that he wanted to make a really brutal movie, but he didn't want to use a whole bunch of blood and guts to it. And you know, if you go back and rewatch the original film, it's not as bloody, as gory as a lot of people think it is. And funny enough, because he was trying to do the whole less is more aspect, you know, let the imagination go wild, that is why it's rated R. Too many people just assumed it was bloody. And hell, even I remember it being really bloody, and it wasn't.
Possible titles. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre wasn't the first or even second title of the film. The first two working titles were Head Cheese and Leatherface. Head Cheese was the first working title of the film, though, for most of principal photography. Leatherface was the working title until late into production, when it was finally given the official title of The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Kim Hinkle and Toby Hooper intended for the title to be spelled Chainsaw, but once the press were sent information on the film, and when the original poster was produced, the spelling got twisted into Chainsaw.
But if you notice in the game, it's spelled like that.
Ashtray. Actors are paid varying amounts for their work in film. For his voiceover in the opening monologue of the film, John Larroquette was paid with a single joint. Recent reports, however, suggest that his rate has gone up.
I remember that.
Friend of Leatherface. Since both of her parents were working on the film, 3-year-old Karina Nicolau was often on set and struck up a friendship with Leatherface actor Gunnar Hansen. He recalled their interactions. She had never liked my Leatherface mask. She was sitting with me one day while I waited for a shot setup. When Dottie, makeup artist Dorothy J. Pearl, came to put on my mask, it horrified Karina. As soon as it covered my face, she started screaming. I had Dottie pull it off. "See?" I said, "it's just me." She calmed down, but when I put the mask on again, she started screaming again. I realized she was too young to make the leap, to see my transformation from Gunnar to Leatherface and understand that I was still under the mask. So I made sure she never saw me in the mask after that, at least until the unfortunate meat hook scene.
Oh, that was sweet. I didn't know that. That's sweet of Gunnar.
Scaring a child. In the original movie shoot, the caterer, Sally Nicolau, was married to the location sound recordist, Ted Nicolau. The day they shot the meat hook scene, Sally brought their then 3-year-old daughter, Karina, to set when she was delivering lunch. Unfortunately, little Karina saw Terry McMinn, Pam, on the meat hook and began crying and screaming. Her father recalled, "I was in the living room while we were shooting that scene, and she came running in and skidded to a stop and just went completely white, started screaming and crying, and went running out of the house."
Oh, that poor baby! Oh, the poor baby!
Genuine bone furnishings. The bones used for props were real animal bones found at a veterinarian boneyard and a cattle pasture. Art director Robert Burns led the charge of designing most of the bone props, like furniture and light fixtures. Preparing for the role. To prepare for the role of Leatherface, Gunnar Hansen went to Austin State School, which was a 95-acre residential and training facility for adults with developmental disabilities. He was there several days to pick up the residents' mannerisms and how they walked and talked. It was important to Gunnar to portray the character authentically, without making a mockery of those who suffer from developmental disabilities.
Yeah, like I said, Gunnar really cared about his role as Bubba. Alright, let's head up the stairs. Nice. Oh!
One outfit, 32 days. Actors only had one set of their wardrobe. The actors had to wear the same clothing for the entire 32-day shoot, 12 to 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. For fear of fading or being damaged, they couldn't wash the clothes. So the actors wore the same clothes unwashed for 32 days straight, in 95 to 100-degree Texas heat. According to the crew, Gunnar Hansen stunk of body odor worse than anyone on set by the end of the shoot.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Like, poor Gunnar. He's such a nice guy. Oh. Did you close? Don't be closing. Ah! Stop closing on me!
Box office success. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre grossed over $30 million at the box office in North America and sold over 16 million tickets. With inflation, the film would have made over $150 million in box office earnings today. Spring of '73. Kim Henkel and Tobe Hooper spent January and February of 1973 writing the script, but production moved on rather quickly after that. They were shooting the movie by summer of 1973. Production manager Ron Bozeman would go on to work on another film that featured cannibalism. In 1992, he won an Academy Award as a producer for The Silence of the Lambs.
I'll add to inventory. Alright, let's get out of this creepy room. Oh! Damn you, hitchhiker! Damn you! That's another skull. Ah, for the dinner scene downstairs. Oh. I'm assuming we gotta do it in graceful order? Oh, I don't know if that would be the last or second to last. We'll keep that there for now. Why Julie, though? Damn. Does Gunn not like Julie?
Hitchhiker's camera. The make and model of the Hitchhiker's camera is a Polaroid automatic 230 land camera. It was manufactured and distributed from 1967 to 1969. This camera previously belonged to Maria Flores. The hitchhiker stole it after she was stalked and kidnapped by Johnny.
Look at all the beautiful photos he took. But speaking of... family dinner. I know with the family dinner, I'm assuming the skull wall is, of course, the infamous scene where Bubba comes out and kills, what's his face? Kirk? Is that it? Kirk? That's in the living room. Grandpa's room. Frames of Fear, revoke license.
No living animals were harmed. Initially, art director Robert Burns wanted set pieces of real dead cats and dogs. The crew acquired dead animal carcasses from a veterinarian and actually tried to embalm them with formaldehyde. Makeup artist and production assistant Dorothy Pearl, at the time the wife of the film's cinematographer Daniel Pearl, was injecting a dead animal with formaldehyde when she accidentally injected into her own leg through the animal. Tobe Hooper then ordered that the dead animal carcasses had to be thrown out. The crew poured gasoline to cremate them. But the stench from
Oh.
the smoke from the bonfire started to make its way into the family house and added to an already foul stench set.
Oh, see, I didn't know that now. Okay. Can I get around that? Closed for renovations. Oh, it's got a lock on it. And apparently I jumped.
Hitchhiker's pocket knife. This weapon is a nod to everyone's favorite unlikable character, Franklin, from the 1974 film. According to creative director Ronnie Hobbs and designer Rob Fox, they knew the likelihood of Franklin ever appearing in the video game was slim to none, so this was their way of including him as a small Easter egg.
Oh, yeah, no, because I don't see Franklin rolling for his life.
Sissy's straight razor. After Kim Henkel and creative director Ronnie Hobbs finished designing Sissy's look and backstory, the only question left was what type of weapon would she carry. According to Kim's secret catalog of character concepts, he always envisioned Sissy wielding some type of straight razor, a small, portable weapon that could stay hidden until just the right time. It's petite and deadly, just like Sissy. It fit her personality perfectly. So even though the hitchhiker carries it in the original 1974 film, it did in fact previously belong to Sissy. As far as what happened to her, or where Sissy is during the 1974 film, well, that's a story for another time.
Story for another time.
Jim Seadow's toughest scene to get right was the broomstick clubbing at the gas station. Since the prop was an actual wooden broom handle, he was afraid of hurting his fellow actor in the scene. After several takes of it looking fake, Seadow really struck his fellow actor in the final take. It was an exhausting shoot for everyone, but Marilyn Burns had it as bad as anyone on set. She did several takes of diving through the doorway of the gas station, and each time she would land knee first on the hard concrete floor, so many times that the floor tore up and severely bruised her knees.
Again, Marilyn, she went through some real hell during the shoot.
Toby meets the cook. Director Toby Hooper offered the part of the old man, the cook, to Jim Seadow after they worked together in the 1971 film The Wind Splitter. They were both a part of the cast in said film. Hooper and Seadow weren't the only Texas Chainsaw Massacre alumni to work on The Wind Splitter. Ron Bozeman was the key grip, Kim Henkel was credited as the grip, and Sally Richardson was the assistant director.
Oh yeah, add to inventory. I'm assuming this has something to do with the license thing, right? No? Oh, this has something to do with the license thing.
News of the day. Toby Hooper wanted to parody the news reports of the day, which he considered televised lies, and so devised the opening voiceover, famously recited by actor John Larroquette.
Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee.
Family name. The family has gone by several surnames throughout the course of the franchise. However, their original surname is Slaughter. Though never spoken in the movie, it can be seen in faint letters on the sign above the gas station, W.E. Slaughter Barbecue. According to Gunnar Henson, art director Bob Burns made the sign. He said that Toby and Kim were mighty proud of coming up with We Slaughter.
many do I have? I don't think I have them all. Yeah, I'm missing one. Oh, here we go. Alright, so... Tennessee, Little Rock, Mississippi, and Baton Rouge. Or Louisiana, I should say. My hometown. Alright, let me... I know down here is Louisiana. Even though I just looked at this, let's see. All the way to the left is Arkansas, all the way to the right. There we go. Okay. Neat. Which means those rest of those photos are probably in Hitchhiker's room. Ah, here we go. Poor Julie. All right.
The dinner scene.
Oh. No. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, hang on, Bubba. Are we doing symmetrical here? Oh, well, you know, it might help if I read the names. That's for the cook. Wait, that means, hang on a second. Ah, there we go. Now we got it.
Skin lampshades.
Oh.
Why was the film marketed as being based on true events? According to Kim Henkel, the film's marketing of being based on true events evolved over production. The famous crawl, for instance, was implemented to mark the story as an historical event that was more captivating, but wasn't meant to be taken seriously. Another inspiration for the story were tales Tobe Hooper was told by his family as a young child. They told him stories of a killer from Wisconsin that would use human skin for lampshades. This Wisconsin killer was the infamous Ed Gein.
Alright, now we can take the infamous dinner scene. let's zoom in. Oh, that's creepy in black and white. Hey, wait a minute. I knew I saw
Straight out of the
something.
70s, the game developers at Gun Interactive and Sumo Digital Nottingham sourced real physical 1970s catalogs for the victims' outfits. In addition, they also used a huge online collection of early 1970s yearbooks from Texas high schools and universities to help ensure authenticity.
Neat. Alright. Crispy Kringles. Okay, it's in the living room. And it's the sitting room, so it's gotta be in here somewhere. It's the dangling feet for me, man. It's the dangling feet for me. Alright, skull wall and Grandpa's room. Alright, let's see here. Let's make sure we look at this. Alright, there's the deer with the big skull. Alright. Nice.
Blood spatter. One of the reasons that blood and gore are limited in the film is because Tobe Hooper and Kim Henkel felt that fear and intensity were more important. According to screenwriter Kim Henkel, he and Tobe Hooper reached out to the MPAA to discuss the guidelines to avoid getting slapped with an X rating. Apparently, the investors of the film were terrified that the film would get an X rating, so all these thoughts were front of mind during production. Ultimately, Hooper and Henkel's original vision of inflicting fear and intensity with the gore and blood implied worked to the film's benefit and made a bigger impact.
Yep. Alright, well, can't go in there just yet. Alright, let's see about Grandpa's room. Oh. Grandpa's room closed for renovations. Alright, so there's a 4-letter name for Grandpa, or something for Grandpa. What could it be? Grandpa's arm candy. Meat. Ha! I thought about it. I was like, 4-letter word that Grandpa loves. It was either bone or meat.
Grandma's rocking chair. The remains of the mummified grandma, or even any mention of grandma, was not in the original script. Art director Bob Burns added her into the set to show that there were women in the family's history.
I mean, That makes sense, especially with the fact that they needed to at least explain that they are related to each other.
The Hitchhiker's origins. According to actor Edwin Neal, he based his performance of the Hitchhiker on his nephew, who suffered from paranoid schizophrenia.
I did hear about that. Grandpa! That was unnecessary, Grandpa. Do not feed Oh, now you tell me. Now it tells me don't feed Grandpa. Oh. Alright. Checklist. $19.39. Let's try that. Quick, like we're going through the fuse box exit. Oh, that was disorienting. Disorienting? Confusion? Alright, 1939. Neat. It's the basement. Alright. Frozen finger, hamburger, pig's head, killing time.
Mask, prop, or wardrobe for the role of Leatherface. When Gunnar Hansen had his first meet and greet for the role of Leatherface, Toby Hooper and Kem Henkel were impressed with his size and stature. When Gunnar walked through the doorway into their meeting, Hooper noticed how much space of the doorway Gunnar took up. They knew right away that Gunnar had the physical traits for the iconic role.
Oh, give me a hand, will you? How about I give you a standing ovation? Now, why don't you lift me up? I'm sorry, Scary Movie 2 just popped into my head for no reason at all.
Real torture. During Sally's torture scene, her screams ultimately led her to shout, "I'll do anything you want," which Marilyn Burns later recollected was the dirtiest thing you could say. It was pretty damn serious. Nowadays, it comes out of everybody's mouth. Now they're doing it for free, they're jumping into it. But in those days, "I'll do anything you want," you just didn't say that. You never said
Right.
that. Burns continues, though, that Sally's torturers, the Slaughter family, don't comprehend that because it's not the result they desire. Rather, she feels that they're so sexually repressed that they can only manifest desire as sadistic cruelty. What makes them even more horrific is the sense that they gather excitement by watching women suffer.
I could believe it, straight up. Oh, a leg. Oh, the chainsaws.
Maria Flores photos. Several of the photos used for Maria Flores' story were taken near a massive sunflower field that seemed to go on for miles. While stunningly beautiful, this area was also infested with rattlesnakes. Thankfully, the Gun Interactive crew persevered after a few close encounters with the venomous snakes, and were able to capture thousands of photos to help build the lore of our game's catalyst, Maria Flores.
Nope. You said the magical word to keep me out of any kind of room. Rattlesnakes. I hate rattlesnakes. I had a bad experience with a rattlesnake one time when I was a kid.
Banned in the UK. The film was banned in over 10 countries, including Great Britain and Germany. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre managed to have screenings in London, England in late 1974. But by February of 1975, the BBFC decided to ban the film, as they were uncomfortable about the threats toward the film's climax and the explicit use of abnormal psychology, and refused to even give the film an X rating. In 1982, the former Prime Minister of England, Margaret Thatcher, along with socially conservative activist Mary Whitehouse, formed the Video Nasties, which led to the banning of several horror films in the United Kingdom. Additionally, in the early years of Prime Cable, channels like HBO refused to air the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Many cable channels avoided the film at all costs.
They really did. I had to get my copy of it at some... Oh God, what was it? It wasn't like a video place or something like that. It just sold a whole bunch of stuff, like movies and video games and like fun clothes and stuff. It was like almost like a Walmart, but it wasn't a Walmart. Bought that
Playing
thing
with
for 20
fire.
bucks.
Early on during filming, Gunnar Hansen asked Toby Hooper, "How are we going to shoot the scene where I get chainsawed in the leg?" Toby Hooper replied,
Oh,
"I don't
yeah,
know,
this part.
but don't worry about it because it's the last shot of the movie." For the climactic ending of the film, the crew wrapped a metal sheet around Gunnar Hansen's leg with a stake taped to it, and a blood bag taped on top of that. Originally, he thought it was a crew member who would run the chainsaw cutting into Gunnar's leg. But Gunnar insisted he would do it himself for fear of the crew member accidentally sawing his leg. The saw didn't have its actual teeth attached to it, so they had to make modifications to the saw itself. At first, Gunnar thought he had sawed his leg, but his leg did become badly burned from sawing into the metal plate that was protecting it.
I knew about that little fun fact. It really hurt him. Well, yeah, I'm not surprised when it comes to the UK banning stuff. I mean, this is the same country that ruined a man's career because he created Peeping Tom, and they thought it was too disturbing.
All natural masks. Art director Bob Burns performed a significant amount of trial and error to perfect the Leatherface mask. Ultimately, he landed on liquid latex and thin insulation, which aged naturally and yellowed. Masks. The Leatherface masks would become iconic, but they were hard to see through. Gunnar Hansen explained, "The masks had one unfortunate feature. Their eye holes were small. They fit snugly, but not around my eyes. And the further the eye holes were from my face, the less I could see. It was like looking down a long tube. I could see only what was directly in front of me."
What's funny is that, well, it's funny, but it's not really funny at the same time. So during the scene where Bubba grabs Pam and he's like bringing her into the house to put her on the hook, if you notice, he ends up hitting his head somewhere because he can't see where he's going. It was. I felt bad
Leatherface
for him.
speaks. In the original script, the infamous dinner scene was quite different. Leatherface had scripted, though completely unintelligible, lines. As Gunnar Hansen recalls, they were written out. His first line is "A-A-A-O-U-U-U-Ber," and then "Abe-Goba Aji-Ima." According to Toby Hooper, these lines had actual meaning behind them. Hansen's script notes pointed out that the first line meant roughly, "How are you? Welcome home. Supper's almost ready." The next line meant, "I've been a good boy. I got 'em all."
Yeah, they thought it would make him more creepier if he didn't speak.
Leatherface mask. The holes and markings on the forehead of Leatherface's masks represent a hammer to the head. Back then, cows were slaughtered in the head with a sledgehammer. So the holes appear on the forehead of Leatherface's masks to show continuity with how actual cattle were slaughtered.
Yep. Oh. I guess we gotta keep looking. Cast members only. A hanging body. Why does that look like 4? Please stop using the freezer to store your lunch's leftovers. Haha. Alright. Ah, now it's starting to make sense. Alright, so I'm counting, looking at the toesies. 2, 4, 3. I'm assuming that's an 8? That looks like an 8. 2, so it's 2, 4, 3, 8. Is that it? No, it's not. Bone bracelet cast body. Oh, okay, okay. Bone bracelet cast body. So 4 would be the first number. See, bracelet, which I think it's a 328. Yep. Nice. Fun puzzle. Okay, I'm liking these puzzles. Alright, nothing there. Another leg. Okay. Hamburger. I like that. Yeah, now we're learning about some really fun facts about the movie. Some of the stuff I really didn't know. The rest of it I kind of knew, but again, I did some research for the podcast. Let's see, left leg, pig's head. Oh wait, something's right here.
Tobe Hooper found novel ways to introduce drama into his picture. According to lead Marilyn Burns, Sally, Hooper would gossip around the set to create animosity between her and Paul Partain, who played Franklin. Toby would come up and tell me that Paul said something about me. Then Toby was going to Paul saying Marilyn said something about you, getting us really upset with each other. So we're doing this scene that didn't require any acting at all. I was ready to kill him.
Oh yeah, no, the actor who played Franklin, he was kind of a douche apparently. Or let me rephrase that. They made him out like a douche.
Leatherface speaks.
Oh yeah. I don't know what the difference is. Talk about having 2 left feet, buddy. I'm assuming this is probably the only one left, right? No, pig head, bad dancer with a killer arm. Oh. Maybe we do need 2 left feet. Okay, and then that just leaves killing time, rear basement. Okay, we're in the rear basement. Wow, that was just a lucky guess. Oh boy, we finished our checklist. Let's go stamp it off. See what's what over here? Nice. Then there is one little section back here. Wait, what was this?
Skin. The practical effects of Leatherface's skin mask proved a difficult challenge for Bob Burns, the art director for the film. Mary Church, who had multiple responsibilities on the original film, including continuity and stunt coordination, noted that Bob spent weeks trying to come up with just homemade varieties of stuff that sort of looked like dried skin. I remember him being concerned about expression, or not being able to do expression, and that there probably needed to be other expressions maybe on the face.
Ooh, okay. There's something back here. Alright, it's another 4-digit number. Four-digit number. Okay, let me... Yeah, no. That's... Can't be it, because it's 4 digits. 4. Wait a minute, why did this one go off for 4? Right? And this one... Oh! I'm a dumbass! Okay, so this one didn't come clearly to me. The rest did, but this one didn't. Very clever. I see what you've done here. Okay, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's 4, 1, 4, 1, 3. 4, 1, 3, 2. Let's try that. See, I knew something about this room felt special. I like that one. I heard somebody. Hello?
Help! Help me! Please! Thank God! Listen to me. My name is Maria. Maria Flores.
Maria!
Find a way to get me out of here. I'm begging you. I don't want to die. Please.
Hi, Bubba! Well, Bubba, that was lovely. Absolutely lovely. Okay. So is that it? Oh, ooh, photo mode. And I can change who's being killed. I'm just gonna say it. I don't know if anybody else is noticing this, but I noticed this. The boo physics is amazing in this game. Even Mama Virginia. God bless. Neat. Okay, what else? Oh. Neat. I like this. Oh. Poor Danny.
Stretch of road. Gunnar Hansen had several weeks to physically prepare for his role as Leatherface. I started walking in my neighborhood before dawn, but quickly tired of the dogs chasing me. So I found a field, paced off a mile, and then started walking and jogging. Soon I was jogging that mile, and eventually I could run the entire distance.
Again, he was prepared. Like, Gunnar really was prepared for his role.
The Apprehension Engine. Gun Interactive's own Wes Keltner led the direction of music for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. One day, Wes was at home brainstorming, and in the background he had 2015's The Witch playing. He wasn't watching the film, but was more listening to it. The sounds and music in the film struck him as he was listening. He asked himself, what instruments are they using to make those unique sounds? It turned out, those sounds were created by an apprehension engine. Wes was able to track down Tony Dugan Smith, who makes roughly 6 of these instruments a year, and was informed that the apprehension engine took around 7 months to build. Wes then had the honor to have a meeting with film composer and creator of music for The Witch, Mark Corvin. It was at this meeting where Corvin said, "Forget everything you know about playing guitar and other instruments. Approach the apprehension engine like a child, and experience and discover." From there, the direction of sounds for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game were born.
Well, that is neat. Okay. Oh, this is all extremely neat. I'm not gonna lie. I thoroughly have enjoyed this. But why don't we go ahead and head back to the menu, because I don't think there's really much else for me to explore. If there is some kind of fun fact I might have missed, it'll be alright. Like, it ain't the end of the world. And hell, maybe with the museum mode, they can tease some more, like, stuff in the future. That's what I'm hoping, anyways. Alrighty, yeah, let's go ahead and head back to the menu so I can get my final input on all this. Well, guys, that was definitely interesting for sure. Like, I was not expecting some of the jump scares, to be honest. Like, straight up, I would, especially with the hitchhiker, man, that scared the ever-loving crap out of me. I was not expecting that. But I thoroughly enjoy museum mode. I like the concept of museum mode. I like the little fun facts we learned about the movie. I learned some stuff that I didn't even know about the movie, and I did a lot of research for the podcast for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. But I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm hoping for more, though. Like, with this whole setup with museum mode, I'm hoping that maybe this is something to get the ball rolling. If they ever want to, hint at a new character or hint at some more lore. Like, they gotta add on to this museum mode. They can't just leave it as is because, there's so much possibility, so many more things they can add, so many more characters they can add for photo mode. I'm definitely excited to see if they do more with museum mode, but was it really worth the 1 year wait for it? It's nice, it's lovely, it was a real treat, but again, I feel like they would have released it a few months ago. Probably would have done it a little bit more justice, especially if they would have released it before they teased Maria being alive. Like, that should have been the tease right there. Just, oh my god, Maria, you're alive, and turn around, there was Bubba there to kill me. But yeah, overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this. I really did. At this point, I think would probably be a good time to go ahead and end this here. I hope everybody has watched, is watching, will watch. I hope you enjoy. I hope everybody has a fantastic and a wonderful night. And guys, like I said in the start of this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit that notification bell, because you never know what's going to happen here. Trust me, I never know.